Good evening, Prove It Nation. My name is Ryan Lowery. It's an honor to be on here talking to you guys tonight. I'm going to wait a little bit for the audience to build up, and then we'll get started into an incredible evening talking about a lot of great things. So I'll let people kind of log in and get started because I know it's late. What's up, guys? So many amazing people on already. Hey. What's up, guys? If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up, just because I have no idea if the audio is good. I'm horrible with technology, so I'll trust you guys if you guys give me the thumbs up and let me know everything's going well. Mitch, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Thanks for jumping on. I'll give it another 30 seconds and then we'll get into it. But kind of just, to pass some of that time, guys, I'm fired up. Coming out of Epic, I can't even tell you. That was an incredible event. So honored to be a part of it, and it's just amazing to see so many passionate, exciting, incredible, just beautiful people all in one place. Really excited for what 2018 holds, and really honored to just be a part of it and have incredible support system that Prove It's built. All right, it sounds like you guys can hear me. So, hey guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Ryan Lowery. I just got back from a little walk. Actually, we'll talk about how you can incorporate that into your reboot. But I just had dinner, and then after I eat a meal, I like to go on a little walk. So it's a little cold out here in Tampa right now, so went on a little walk. One of the things that helps with is lowering blood glucose. So it doesn't even matter if you're having a keto meal or even just a low carb meal, but just going on a quick little walk, even if you're not having a meal and you're just having some better broth, it doesn't hurt going on a walk. So even a 5, 10, 15-minute walk is always good after every time you're having something. So guys, honored to be here. Like I said, coming off of an incredible event at Epic. So honored with what Prove It's doing from an education standpoint, from an innovation standpoint, and literally just changing the world, period. Going out, bringing a conversation to so many people who not only want to hear it, but that need to hear it. And that's extremely important, is that so many people need to hear this conversation. And it's amazing because we talk to people from all over the world, researchers, different companies that aren't even in the low carb and keto space, and everyone's aware of what Prove It's doing and so inspired by it, because the message, the education, the innovation is not only touching people who are deep into the keto conversation, it's touching people far beyond that. And that's a huge accomplishment, and something you all should be very proud of, and that what this company and this community is doing is truly something that I think we'll look back on in 10 years and be like, how is it? That's amazing. People will study what Prove It's doing today and go, how can I, if I have something and a technology or an innovation that really needs to go out and change the world, how do I incorporate what they did and are doing to get that message out? So huge accomplishment, and it's only going to grow. We're just getting started. Can't tell you how excited I am for that. And tonight we're going to be talking about Reboot. Another step, another really exciting thing that Prove It's doing. And I want to go off a little bit on what does Reboot entail? What truly, when we're talking about optimized products that are within the Reboot, what does that mean? Let me see. Someone said something about the words. I'm horrible with technology, so let me figure this out. Oops. Is that better? Okay, good. There we go. So what does that mean, right? What does that mean? Well, here's the thing. There's a lot going into the system. A lot of thought went into the system, and a lot of planning went into this reboot system. Why? Why does this matter? What's going on? So I'm going to use the F word because it gets brought up a lot in as far as science and research of what's being done. And the F word being the word fasting. Now let me talk a little bit about fasting from a purely scientific and research perspective. If you look back to the 1800s, really they utilized fasting for a ton of therapeutic benefits, right? A ton of therapeutic benefits. Getting people to fast, they would literally put people in these metabolic wards and force them to fast because no one likes to fast, right? It's not an enjoyable process by any means. And here's the thing. Fasting has been used for decades to see that benefit. But the question becomes, do you need to fast to get a lot of those benefits? And that's really where the ketogenic diet started to evolve. Well, what if you just keep insulin at bay? What if you lower insulin, you lower blood glucose? Can you get a lot of those same benefits that these people were seeing from fasting? Can you get that? Right? That's an interesting concept. But here's the challenge with fasting. Like I said, it's not sustainable long term. People don't enjoy it. But if you look at the definition of fasting, it's a complete avoidance of any nutrients. And that's not what the reboot system's about. You're providing incredible nutrients, you're providing ketones, and you're providing a lot of other benefits that come along with it. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. What is that system? So what is that? And why does that matter, right? Because fasting in one aspect has been looked at for decades. But to put someone on a fast and literally provide them without any nutrients, and they're voiding their body of any fluids, any food, anything like that, that's very challenging. And I actually don't think it's beneficial, and I'll explain why. So what if you can provide the proper nutrients and you can still reap a ton of benefits from that? So before we go into that, let me explain to you why, what are some of the things that encompass the reboot system and why Prove It's put this together. So one of the things, obviously, you guys are well aware of is ketones. Ketones themselves, we've been talking about all of the research, all of the data that come along with ketones, literally providing an alternative fuel source for the brain. We have signaling properties of ketones, an alternative fuel source for the brain that's more efficient than things like glucose, providing energy, focus, a lot of these things that we need across lifespan, right? Ketones being, for those of you who are at the Epic event, I talked about the lead dolphin that's really leading the charge, or lead rhino, whatever you want to call it. Ketones being that centerpiece, right? Always being that centerpiece. And then you have the support mechanisms. So what are the support mechanisms within the reboot system? Well, first and foremost, you guys are well aware of things like the Keto Tea, the Keto Calm. I'm actually getting ready for bed. I love this Calm AF. I got this at the Epic event. Friggin' love it. But things like Keto Calm, right? So what does Keto Calm do? Well, you look at, for me, it's 10 o'clock at night right now. It's perfect time for me to consume this. I probably won't get to bed till midnight. I got a little bit of work left to do. But sleep is a weapon. And we talked about this at the event. Sleep is the ultimate weapon. Being able to get a good night's sleep, not only are we, and I'm not just talking about duration of sleep, we're talking about the quality of sleep. And there's certain nutrients and certain things that are put into the Keto Calm to optimize and allow for that to happen. So what are those things? Well, you're talking about things like L-theanine. You're talking about ketones, of course, but a precise ratio of ketones that are meant to optimize sleep. Things like that are higher in magnesium. We know that magnesium is extremely important for sleep, along with things like zinc. Now, what happens when you throw in something that can aid in recovery and repair, right? You talk about something like HICA. HIC is something we've been studying for a long time, something that has a lot of promising data around it. But sleep is when you're supposed to get the most recovery. But it's often when we get the worst recovery because none of us sleep well. Because we live in a society where we have a ton of blue light exposure, which means we're holding up our phones or we're watching TV late at night, and we have tons of stress, so no one sleeps well. But sleep is one of the most important things. It's literally the ultimate weapon. So if we can optimize sleep, we can see a lot of benefits, a lot of recovery, and then when you provide the nutrients that help aid in that sleep, now it's just an amazing weapon to help and something to have in your toolkit to really allow you to optimize your next day and allow you to recover and allow your body to continue building and optimizing. So sleep is one part, right? You have your Keto Calm in your kit. We all need to get better sleep. It doesn't matter, but sleep is a weapon. So that's just one aspect of this reboot, right? You can tell how excited I am. So you have the ketones, you have the Keto Calm. What else? Well, better broth. Let's talk better broth. Something I'm extremely excited about. I mean, we're talking about providing something that is natural broth that has natural sources of protein, being collagen protein, which everyone is looking for these days. An incredible amount of collagen protein. Good source of fermented leucine. We talked a lot about this at the event on how important fermented amino acids are. So fermented amino acids, whereas a lot of synthetic amino acids come from things like duck feathers, human hair. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd rather not have duck feathers or human hair. I'd rather have something that's a plant extract, or something that's natural and that's fermented, and that's the type of leucine that Prove It puts in their product. And so when you're talking about the better broth, you have fermented leucine. Why do you have fermented leucine? Well, we have collagen protein in there, and you know collagen's good for skin, nails, joints, things like that. But we also want to trigger something known as muscle protein synthesis. And in order to trigger that, it's almost like over here I have a light switch. It's almost like a light switch, right? In order for that light switch to be turned on, there's a certain threshold that you need to hit. Well, the collagen protein hits a certain, it kind of knocks that light switch about halfway up, and then when you combine that with the leucine, boop, that light switch gets turned on, right? You're triggering that muscle protein synthetic response, which is important for body composition, which is important for maintaining muscle mass, and things like that. What else is in there? So you have collagen peptides, right? Collagen peptides, things that can help with skin, hair, nails, joints. Again, it's one thing to be able to have muscle mass. It's another thing to be able to have proper joints, proper flexibility, proper movement. And when you're talking about optimizing your system, these things become extremely important. So the Reboot, on top of that, it's got the bioavailability blend and, of course, some AC11, which we'll talk about here in a second. But it's got the bioavailability blend. You're getting key vitamins and nutrients that your body needs. And when we're talking about providing these essential nutrients, because remember, I talked a little bit before about the definition of fasting is literally completely voiding your body of any nutrients or materials. That's not what's happening here. You're providing them with essential nutrients and essential things that your body needs to recover, fuel sources that your body can maintain and can continue providing an energy source, but you're reaping the same benefits. You're keeping insulin low. You're keeping glucose low. You're preserving muscle tissue, which is extremely important, but still providing and getting the benefits that people are looking for when they go on things like extended fasts. So it's completely alternative. That's why I like the concept of rebooting your system. Literally, I'm excited. I'm doing it with you guys. I'm jumping on board. I texted Brian earlier. I said, hey man, where can I get this? Because I want to jump on board. I want to test it myself. With body composition. I want to test my blood, my ketones, all of these things. I think is extremely important. So I'm excited. I'm excited as well. And then the last thing that comes along with this reboot is very, very important, and that's the Signal OS, right? And a lot of people have been asking, what is Signal OS? What does it do? Here's the thing. And they're the pills. So Signal OS contains a high dose of something known as AC11. And for some of you who don't know what AC11 is, AC11 has been shown in human clinical trials and in animal trials to help with things like DNA repair, to lengthen telomeres. Now, what does that mean? What does it mean why is it important? Well, first off, I'll start with the lengthening telomeres, and then I'll go further into why the Signal OS is important. When we talk about aging, when we talk about dealing with stressors and things like reactive oxygen species that get built up in our bodies over and over and over again, we need to repair, period. People talk about building, but think about this. If you were to take no pun intended, if you were to take a building and literally continue building upon it, eventually that base starts to break apart. Well, if you don't fix and repair that base, you're only going to be able to build so high. So think about our bodies in the same way, right? You're only able to build if you fix and repair what you have. And as we go through daily life, as we deal with daily stressors and things that are outside, smoke inhalation, just daily things that get into our body and mess us up and really disrupt our DNA, shorten our telomeres, and speed up the aging process. That happens on a daily basis, right? If we're able to slow that process down, we're literally able to go in on a genetic level, on a gene level, on a cellular level, and utilizing biotechnology and biointelligence, going in there and being able to repair what's been broken or repair what's been damaged. That's powerful. That is a powerful tool. And so I want to circle all the way back around and talk and bring up the F word again, because here's something that I think is extremely important, is from a research standpoint, I've studied fasting for a very long time. For a very, very long time. We talk about it in the book that we wrote as well, about how it was used in the late 1800s and early 1900s for a wide variety of different things. Here's the problem. You take someone who has any type of fat to lose, especially people who are overweight, right? You take these types of people, and when you fast them for extended periods of time, what happens? Well, inevitably, you're going to, and when I'm talking about fasting, keep in mind I'm talking about voiding them of all nutrients, voiding them of literally everything, and just literally restricting them completely. Not what we're talking about here with the reboot, but just stay with me for the fasting. What happens in these individuals is if you look at their fat cells, what's built up and accumulated in their fat cells now gets released into their body, right? That now gets released into their body. People look at that and go, well, that's great. That's what I'm looking for. Here's the challenge. When you have a lot of those fat cells and you're releasing a lot of what's been accumulated and built up in there over time, that now just is a huge dump into your body very fast, right? Very fast. Why is that a problem? And I actually think it can be dangerous in some regard, because think of what's built up in all of these fat cells, especially for people who are overweight or obese, and now you're dumping all of that into your body at once. That can trigger a lot of negative things, I think, that we need to research more and more and more. Here's why I'm really excited about the reboot. Not only are you not doing that in a sense that you're not voiding someone completely of nutrients and making it a miserable process. You're providing them nutrients. You're providing a fuel source. But when those fat cells dump what they need to dump into the body, what do you need? You need something that's going to be able to clear that garbage, or some people call it carbage, for people who are eating a ton of carbs. You need to be able to clear that from your body. Signal OS, in part, does that. The products that are put into this operating system do that. Ketones have signaling properties that can help lower things like reactive oxygen species. You have Signal OS to help repair DNA. So yeah, when you have these fat cells that are dumping these things into your body, which a lot of people are looking for, you need something to come in and clean that up. You can't just let it sit there. And so I think combining these products, and then of course, like I talked about when I first got on, exercising, and that doesn't mean going to the gym and squatting 315 pounds. Just taking a walk. So in the morning when you get up and you have your Keto OS Max and you have your raspberry lemonade, cool. Drink it, go on a 15-minute walk. Cool. You know what? Then I'm going to go and have my better broth. Cool. After I drink that, go on a 15-minute walk. Right? You're helping clear this process. You're getting blood flow going. After you take your Signal OS, boom, go take a walk. And then maybe take a walk right before you have your calm at night, right? These things are extremely, extremely important. Extremely, extremely important. So I love this concept. I'm so fascinated, so excited to see this take place and see how many people are going to see incredible, incredible benefits from this, because you're providing essential nutrients. You're providing high-quality ingredients and high-quality products that are literally meant to optimize your body. When we talk about biotechnology and biointelligence, literally taking groundbreaking concepts and packaging them into a kit and a package that someone can take and seamlessly implement into their lifestyle to reap these benefits. Oh, and not only that, reap these benefits, but literally provide these cleaners that come in and can have long-term benefits after that. So, I mean, I hope you guys can see how excited I am. I am extremely, extremely passionate about this and love it because the research has been there for decades. The problem is it's been nearly impossible for people cognitively, mentally. The technology hasn't been there, and now it is. To be able to provide someone the tools, the nutrients, the fuel source system in order to take this, implement it into your daily life, and get those benefits that a lot of people are looking for. So I'm extremely excited to see that. And one of the things that we'll be talking about, we're going to be using the term ketophagy, but in what we see in the literature, they call it autophagy, meaning self-cleaning. But ketophagy, we're utilizing ketones and this package and this system to really clean and clean out what we need to clean out in our bodies. I think that's extremely, extremely important for us to do. I mean, periodically throughout the year, I love incorporating in these systems, and we're going to be doing it every month to really help people speed up that process and drive ourselves and spring really into ketosis, which we'll be talking a little bit more about here very soon, is that springing into ketosis through utilizing a system like this. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out with me tonight. I'm cool hanging around and answering some questions for a little bit. So if you guys have any questions, hit them up below. I'm more than happy to answer them. Anything that you guys have, please feel free to reach out. I want to make sure I'm here to help because this is a really, really exciting concept and really exciting venture that I'm excited to see a lot of people undertake in a way that's sustainable and undertake in a way that is going to really help not only their lives, but hopefully those around you. So let me answer some questions. One thing that someone brought up. Here's the thing. What happens after the 3 days, right? We'll talk a little bit as it gets closer. We have a plan for what's going on after those 3 days. But please, after this process is done, whatever you do, don't go and blow it out at an all-you-can-eat buffet or go order a large pizza or something along those lines. Please don't do that. Think about it. If you just cleaned your entire house from floor to ceiling, Are you going to immediately come in and have the kids run around in mud outside and then come trek it up around the house? No, you'd be pretty upset. You'd be pretty upset if that happened. Your body feels the same thing. Your body feels the same way. So make sure this is like a full house cleaning where it's like, hey, let's clean the entire house and now let's provide some maintenance thereafter. And then once it gets dirty again, boom, let's clean the entire house again. So this is something that I'm excited about. That's a way to think about it. That's a way to explain it to people, and a way to wrap really your mind around it is every month I get a full cleaning, right? Eventually people are in and out, people are trekking. I have a lot of people that are over all the time. I love being around company, love being around people. I wouldn't, as soon as I clean the house, I wouldn't want to have people come in and throw a huge party and have mud everywhere and mess everything up. No, it defeats the purpose. Same thing here. Clean it, maintain, and then we clean it again. So let me answer some questions. Are other bone broths the same? From Jim. Are other bone broths the same? Here's the thing. When we talk about a lot about this. No, it's a very unique formulation. The ingredients are very unique. We went through a very extensive process to find the right source and right materials, the highest quality, both chicken and beef broth that's being utilized in here. Here's the thing, and I don't mean this. I don't like beating on other companies or beating on other things. That's not my thing. I'm blue ocean, right? I'd rather focus on the future and what's going on here. But here's something to just be wary of, is similar to leucine, right? It's very easy to get synthetic leucine, which is made from duck feathers and human hair. As is, it's easy to get bone broth, which is made from some random chicken bone that you don't even want to know where it's from. And from somewhere overseas that isn't pretty. It's like, if you knew what was going on with that chicken or that animal, you probably wouldn't want to touch it. So why would you want to drink the broth from it? You know? That's one thing. 2, has ketones in it. 2, has AC11 in it. 3, fermented leucine. Like all of these other things that go along with it. Patent pending technology, collagen peptides, just things that help with support that are far beyond just a bone broth. And bone broths are like its own little small category. This is a better broth. So having a ton of other ancillary ingredients that can help with it. Here's the thing. People are asking about Calm. Oh, this is an interesting question. People are saying they're not really falling asleep with Calm. So here's something to do. Maybe take it a little bit earlier. Calm shouldn't, biologically, technology, the biotechnology that's utilized in it should in no way, shape, or form drive someone to stay up by any means. There's no caffeine in it. Everything to help bring you down, to de-stress. So what I'd recommend for that person is take it a little bit earlier. Take it with a little bit more water. So instead of having it, like I'm taking it now, and it's 10:30, I probably won't get to bed till 12:30. Now, I'm not recommending that because y'all should be in bed way before that and make sure you're getting a good night's sleep. I just have a lot that I need to get done tonight. So that's giving me 2 hours for it to get into my system to allow for really max absorption. Samantha Ann, great point. Some people are saying it's too sweet. Here's the thing. Add more water, right? That's the amazing thing about what's done with these products. Some people think that some people have a sweet tooth. Me. If you have a sweet tooth, great. Don't put as much water in it. You get the sweetness from it. If you don't like how sweet it is, great. You can titrate it down and add more water. It makes things very simple, very easy. You can be your own scientist and do that. Allow yourself to really titrate it to whatever you like. any or I pass out after the keto calm tea. That's awesome. That's awesome. I do as well. I get some of my best night sleeps, and I do a lot of tracking. I'm very into like the biohacking, tracking everything. I've tracked my sleep. I've tracked my REM sleep, my deep sleep, and when I drink Keto Calm, I really get the best effects, and I show that. I have a ring that I wear. I have an app on my phone. I mean, tons of stuff to track sleep, and I get my best sleep on it. Ingredient listings for the Reboot products, definitely. They'll be on either the website or on the packaging. Right? We went through a lot of them. There's nothing that I don't think I didn't go over. There's 5-HTP in the Keto Calm. Why is there 5-HTP in the Keto Calm? Well, 5-HTP converts over to something that can help with sleep, right? But also 5-HTP converts over to something like serotonin, which can help suppress appetite, right? So at a certain level, 5-HTP can help lower appetite. I don't know about y'all, but I'm the type of guy that if I'm at night and I don't have something to really satisfy a sweet tooth, I'm going to probably eat a ton of low-carb treats that I just made, right? Because I have a sweet tooth. But if I can lower that at night when we don't want to be snacking, trust me, if someone wants to snack, cool, do it in the morning because then you're going to be active the entire day. Don't do it at night, especially, I mean, definitely not during this reboot time, but I'm talking about any other time during the maintenance is you don't want to be snacking at night. The reason why the 5-HTP was put in there is not only to help with appetite suppression, but also to help with things like sleep and lowering it. With the 5-HTP and someone who is taking an SSRI, definitely check with your doctor, definitely run it past them, and you should always consult your physician with that because there can be an interaction, but at this dose and this level, it's definitely something to run by your physician, especially if you're on an SSRI. That's a great question. I saw that pop up a little bit. See, I'll take 2 more questions. You guys are amazing. You're asking incredible questions, and what I love as well, and this is just not to get off track, but this is just a huge attribute to this community. Is like I'm seeing people answer other people's questions. Like that's phenomenal. It's like you're in this to truly help someone, not to be like, oh, I'm just here to ask my own question and get an answer. Like people are trying to help other people, and I love it. Thank you guys. Wow, that's an incredible question. Miss Anna. Miss Anna asked, what's my favorite keto snack? That's a tough question. So, I don't know. Like, that's a tough question. Maybe I'll do this. So after the reboot, maybe we'll go over some recipes. One of my favorite things, I love dark chocolate. Love peanut butter. I like very simple recipes. I don't like things that are going to take me longer than 10 minutes to make. So usually I'll take like really dark chocolate. I'll melt it, put it down on like a paper plate, put a little of my favorite peanut butter over top, and then put a little layer and make my own little. I was a huge Reese's peanut butter cup fan growing up. Huge into Reese's Pieces, huge into Reese's peanut butter cups. Now I kind of make my own. But that'll be after the reboot. If you mix it in the morning and save for lunch, is it still effective? Great question. Yes. It can last several hours mixed. So I wouldn't go any longer than like 24 hours. So I wouldn't take something and I wouldn't take like a Keto Max or something, mix it up, and then say I mix it up at 8 o'clock in the morning and then drink it like 5 o'clock the next night. Not that night, but the next night. I wouldn't recommend that. But if you mix it up at 8 and then take it to work and don't get to it till later on in the afternoon, completely fine. I'll take one more question. Let's see. Great question, Jack. Jack Mitchell asked, how important is timing of consumption during the reboot? We're going to provide recommendations. There's going to be recommendations for, hey, here's how we recommend you implement it. A lot of those are done on purpose because, but not everything's always going to go according to plan. Your schedule is going to be different from that person's schedule and that person's schedule, that person's schedule. Like I said, I'm not going to bed for another 2 hours. Don't recommend it. But it's just what I have to do tonight. But so I wouldn't recommend someone take Calm if at 10:30 at night if they're going to bed at 10:40, right? They should have taken it an hour ago or an hour and a half ago. So it's timing definitely does matter, but it's individual. It's individualized. Keep things in context. Rob DeBoer is a great resource. He's put a ton of information and awareness to this entire Reboot program. Highly recommend a lot of what he's saying is absolutely on point. So look to him as a resource as well for what he's doing. And he's helped a ton of people kind of coach them through this process as well because he has that. And he's done it as well. So again, individualized, but there's always recommendations and things that we provide. So guys, with that being said, I don't want to keep you guys up too late because I want you to get some sleep. I want you to recover. I want your bodies to recover. I want you to be able to get up tomorrow morning, crush it. Cannot wait for this reboot together. I cannot wait. It's only a couple more days. Don't go overboard this weekend with the Super Bowl. Enjoy yourselves. Remember, the less you have to clean out come a couple weeks or a couple days, the better off we'll be. If you only have to clean a little bit of mud, that's great. But let's not try and make it a whole crazy, muddy house, so to speak. So guys, thank you guys so much. Honored every single time. Love you guys. Keep crushing it. I'm sure I'll be talking to you more very, very soon. Thank you for all that you guys do. Keep changing the world. Keep making positivity louder. Love y'all. Have a great night.